This pool is looking much higher on the difficulty bracket.
So
we've got Flower Challenge, Paranoia Hades Difficult 15, and New Generation Experts.
What a banger of a set.
I don't know, have you seen Paranoia Hades on doubles?
I have.
Oh my god.
I have.
Every chart,
DSP chart?
every single chart for that song on doubles is just brutal.
So do we have a list of the commentator or the competition for this round? Do we have a list of them, right quick? While you're finishing your thought, by all means. But
it's all the same step jumps that you know from the singles difficult chart, except you're also transitioning pads while you're doing that. So you know, no big deal, right?
No, not at all.
No.
For these competitors, you're going to have that level of skill. You're going to be able to have to lock in, understanding where you can make a jump, where you may have to make a bracket step, where you may have to do an early transition just to hit that late area of the Marvelous window, just to keep it within the MA range. If you're not focused in on that level, it's going to bite you.
It's going to be hard to keep up.
It is, 100%. So who do we got in this pool?
We've got Kevbo.
We've got Ohio legend.
We've got T.Swag.
Yep. Doubles legend.
We've got Jag.
Okay, Jag, another. This is stacked.
And we have JQ Trend.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Nope.
You've got to be kidding me.
This is why we got hard stuff.
This is wild. This is wild. So first off, shout out to John Tran, winner of the Pump It Up tournament and Mistake on the Lake. Left it all out on the pad there. Fantastic guy. Really excited to see him perform here. He's also been running in DDR singles as well. Yep. So you have to wonder, will stamina come into play again, especially as we start to come into these higher level charts? He is Mr. Iron Lung. He goes through it all. He has almost infinite stamina, but at what point will it catch up to him, right? Same thing with T.Swag. He was also in the Pump It Up tournament. Kevbo's competing in DDR signals. So is Jag. Jag's also got the mental switch from coming off from 2DX. There are so many different mental pieces at play here.
Yeah.
So very excited to see it. So Knight, I gotta be honest with you. Out of the three charts, which one do you think that they will have the easiest time with and the worst time with, based on the competitors that we have here?
Okay, so I think that Paranoia Hades is definitely going to be the one that people have the hardest time with.
I think so too.
The question is whether New Generation or Flower is going to be kinder, and I really don't know. I think we might actually see a discrepancy across the competitors.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think
they're very different charts.
Yeah, they're extremely different. I also don't remember what New Generation looks like on doubles, if I'm being honest.
Right. But Flower, everybody knows Flower. I mean, Flower's in literally every music game known to people, except for, you know.
But it also does whatever. It just kind of does what it feels like in the DDR charts.
Oh yeah.
Like, you hear a lot of things, and it just picks very specific complementary rhythms to go with. It's like, these are the ones you're hitting.
Absolutely.
Ignore all the other stuff you're hearing. Hit this.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see how everyone does with that.
No, 100%. But I can't wait to see it. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say that New Generation is going to be the easier of the two, because Flower still does hit you with those bursts. It's very bursty, right? But New Generation is pretty solidly consistent. It's got some trickiness. It's got some of those 16 steps. It's going to be a matter of what you're familiar with. But Hades is definitely going to take the cake as far as the difficulty goes. And of course, it's the DSP chart, right? And the rest of the New Generation's ESP and Flower's the challenge. So it's an interesting juxtaposition between the two. But here we go. Here we go. Mr. Danger Shark himself, right here. Kevbo, logging in right now. Absolute king. So we're going to go ahead and transition back over here to Kev. He's logging in. Are they getting a warm-up? Are they getting a warm-up?
There are no warm-up.
No warm-up. Okay. So he's going in here. If he's competed today, and I don't think he has yet. I think that he's in top 16 for DDR.
I believe he's top 16.
So is this the first time he's stepping on the pad?
Yes.
It is. So very interesting. So he's going in cold.
Yep.
Right? You know, and I'm not saying that a player of Kevbo's skill level is absolutely going to have too much of a difficulty stepping into that. But you'll see, he's running to New Generation first, right? He's running there. It's a 14, right? It's streamy. It's got plenty of different steps, but not only jumps. The jumps are going to come during Hades, right?
Yep.
So starting off
Hades and Flower will both make up for the lack of jumps in this chart.
Yeah,
I am sure.
So he's got 15 perfects on this, on the gold cap.
Well,
it's going to be hard to bet against him.
Gold cap and white cap records aren't necessarily separate.
Oh, they are? Okay.
No. So while there was a version discrepancy, that was the case. But since the white cabs are actually all on A3 now, it's possible that this is just his record on the white cap. You can't know, unfortunately, because there was that period where anyone who had already transitioned their scores to A3, any new records they got on A20 plus on a white cap after that are just in the void. Okay.
Well, that's great to know. We unfortunately don't have a gold cap at QSM, Quail Springs Mall. Shout out to Oklahoma City. So I haven't got to personally see that.
Yeah.
But seeing 15 perfects regardless of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. So, no, that's a definitely
the new generation's an absolute banger, too. Like, it really is. Shout out to the cyber. Shout out to the cyber arrows. Absolutely love it. And already you're just seeing, like, Kevin's just locked in right now. He's got 3 to start, but again, going in cold and still performing at this level right now.
Yeah. I will take a moment to note that our top 4 is going to be Arjun from the first pool, Nobar Ben from the second pool. Whoever wins this pool is going to be in top 4, and depending on how the points shake out, the 4th person will either be Kaze or the 2nd place from this pool.
Okay, cool. So we've got it pretty locked in right now, so stay tuned. We've got some great DDR, and you're watching it right now with Kevin. He is, look at that, just clean stepping, right? He's really playing pretty heavily on his toes. Like, I think he's keeping the balance pretty heavily there. You're seeing the taps, right? You're not seeing that flat-footed play style that you see with a lot of different players. He is just locked in and making sure that every step is right where he wants it.
That was a rough pattern.
That was, but he still managed. He was very, very clean the way he handled it.
Yep, still holding the gold.
Yep. Wow. Just what? Oh, picks up the great as we lead into the 12s. Only misstep we've really seen from him so far, right? All right.
Strong start.
Strong start. 14-19. 28-1.
1 great.
Going in cold on the gold cap, right? Like having to mentally shift into that mode. That was such a good warm-up, I want to call it. You know, like what else do you say?
Yeah, it's kind of wild to get that kind of a score in a warm-up, but that's what happens when you're Kevbo.
But that's the score you have to have in this pool too.
Oh, yeah.
The other competitors being as stacked as they are. This is going to be the death run pool right here.
Oh yeah, this is the pool of death.
It really is. Choosing Flower over Hades. Kind of unsurprising, honestly.
Yeah, no, I don't expect anyone to go to Hades second.
Yeah, you want to go to Hades and just kind of like sit down for a second, right? You know? So here we go. We're going into Flower. Kevin's obviously very familiar with this song, has played it numerous times. Has what, 38 on it, it looks like? He's shifting. He's going to Hades.
He thought about it and decided to go to Hades.
He's only got 17 on Hades.
I had to open my mouth and be wrong.
Right? All right, so he's going to Hades. Decided that, hey, you know what? I want to go jump around for a little while.
Yeah. I expect this chart is going to be mostly quarter notes with a handful of eights, but it's going to be mostly jumps.
It's very similar.
So,
but, you know, again, the crossing between during those jumps, there's a lot of tricky parts. And at that 300 BPM, oh, you got to keep it going. You got to keep it going. Yeah, not the Hades from 2DX. Shout out to the DGA on that video, though, or on that song. Fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So here we go. PARANOiA Hades.
Get to see what the other competitors have to quote-unquote look forward to with this one.
And it's wild because you're just seeing like those 4th and 8th notes, right? And you're just seeing them like, okay, whatever. You can hit those pretty quickly. At 300 BPM, cross pads.
So
like, look how far he's moving around.
All those 8s are effectively 16th notes at 150.
Oh, yeah.
And just this patterning to go in and out of the jumps is so rude. Look at that.
He's just back and forth. It's like he's just rocking a boat, you know? Jumping back and forth in those triple jumps and transitionary triple jumps. He's keeping it going. Look at those clean steps, keeping the gold into 250. So into the slowdown.
Bit of a break here, physically anyway.
But you still got to keep it because you got those 12 notes that will trip you up.
Yeah, cannot relax for a moment on the MA focus.
And you still have to make those shifts. You're seeing Kev just kind of glide around them. Look at the footwork into the slowdown. It's not phasing him at all. Just gliding across the pad. And then there's also those tricky jumps that you won't, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss and think that they're just a regular step. All right, into the final 300 portion. Can we talk about how clean that was?
That is ridiculous.
PFC 1348 on the EX. Wow. 29
perfects.
29 perfects.
That is disgusting.
I mean, it's Kevin.
Yeah.
Ohio represent. Like, this is a man who has been playing this game since he was a kid, you know, back in the Mega Man X days, you know, back in the days where he was just like, this kid out of Ohio is absolutely cleaning shop on DDR Extreme. And to see him still operating, here we are, this level, 20 years later, still operating at this level, like, absolute king mentality right now. So,
yeah. Definitely a legend in the community.
Right, and he is representing his Ohio DDR crew very, very well. So shout out to Kev. Here we go, Flower. So now, you know, Flower's a little bit speedier than Hades, right? But I still think that overall Hades was the more difficult chart.
It's the more training chart. This is more technical.
Yes.
It has more things to kind of throw you off.
Yes.
Hades is mostly just puts a physical challenge in front of you and says, hey, do it.
If yellow notes and green notes scare you, Flower's going to be more difficult. If jumps and transitions are going to scare you, then Hades is going to be more difficult, right? So we'll see. Just absolutely locked in on the first couple notes here. Trying to get a feel for where he needs to be and where the step position goes. Oh, picks up a great, unfortunately, there. Slight misstep for Kevin. But again, this is only his third song, period. So, 0 warm-ups going cold and still absolutely killing it here.
This is an EX score tournament, so as long as he keeps the MA there, the great's not going to hurt him too badly.
Right.
Look at all those marvelous. Really tricky footwork in that.
Absolutely. Like, you're seeing it right now. A little bit of a mini Chiquita factory. Like, there's so much yellow in this chart. And Kevin's handling it perfectly fine. I mean, he's a little bit off to the speed, but look at how smooth he's transitioning between the pads. The iconic jumps right there, hitting him without any difficulty.
We saw him play Hades. Jumps aren't scaring him.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. What a absolute clean run so far in Flower. So here we are into the backside. Gets a little bit of a breather. We'll see
what the back end looks like.
Wow. Incredibly clean run.
Some wide transitions and more physicality, but not as technical to hit those patterns. Kevbo handles them very well.
What a great run by Kevin.
1656 EX.
1656. It's going to be a hard one to beat. It is. It wasn't his best run. Wasn't his best run. One picked up the great. But seriously, that's gonna be a tough one to beat in this setting. So excited to see where it goes from here. So
you have to think that with that kind of run, he's going to be favored to win the pool.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I mean, but this pool's so stacked.
Exactly.
Right?
Right? We'll have to see how the other competitors do, because you can't know with how good everyone in this pool is. You just can't know till it's done.
No, but what an opening!
Yeah.
What an opening statement by Kevin. Coming in cold, making sure that he is right there. But look who's right behind him. The iconic T.Swag with the hat, rocking it here. Again, let's see how the Hootsman does, right? Let's see what happens. I'm excited for this one. He's one of the premier double players in the groupings. I've seen him at various tournaments, not only MOTL5, but also TDD. Did very, very well there. So I'm excited to see him, you know?
Yeah. When you T.Swag, like you hear the name T.Swag and you automatically think of
You know
DDR
exactly
doubles.
who he is.
Yeah.
You know what he looks like. You know what he wears with the hat that he wears. Like, has been a tremendous member of the community, not only here but in Pump It Up, and some of the others as well. So I'm very, very excited to see where he lands.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Yeah, this bracket is so stacked right here. These four could have been the top four. You know what I mean? Like this if it didn't shake out the way it did in the tournament right now in pools, these guys could have been the top four, right?
Or at least could have been 4 out of top 6.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say comfortably. At the,
Yeah,
they could have been above like Ben and June.
Yeah, in June. Yeah, it's so good. But again, it just shows the level of competition that you have at majors like Mistake on the Lake.
Yeah, it's absolutely stacked.
So you'll notice he's got the Eggman card out, right? Got the Eggman card. Let's see what happens here. Gonna start off the new generation, pulling the same tactics as Kevbo. I'll be interested to see if he picks Hades over.
That will be interesting.
Or if he saves Hades for last. So. And here we go, new generation, D14. The man, the myth, the Hootsman, or the Eggman as we got it here right now. So, again, absolute banger, new generation. Making a statement and starting off strong. Unfazed, absolutely unfazed by any of this right now.
Right. Technical 8-note patterning is his bread and butter.
Oh, 100%.
This is what he does.
Even with the yellows kind of forced in there, right? He's still hitting the 16 notes without any issues whatsoever. As a matter of fact, he's on track to beat his DD. Of course, I say something, and now he's back to tied, but picks it back up again. Let's see what happens from here. Unfortunately, picks up a great there. Probably still dialing in just a little bit again, first song. But locking in on that marvelous. He knows exactly where he needs to be to hit those patterns very, very cleanly.
Handle that. That has to be the hardest part of the chart to not get a great.
Just the way that your body and foot position does. But look at it right there, those transitions. He's getting that wider stance as he's having to do the transitions and hitting them with ease. Turning his body absolutely when he needs to, but otherwise just widening out that stance like you just saw right there. Handling the freezes, no issues. What a solid run.
And just like Kevbo, one great.
Right. But what was his perfect count? Where are we at there? 45. So a little bit higher than where Kev was, right? Just a hair higher. But look at that right there. Absolutely clean run. Definitely keeps him in the running for both the top as well as that potential wild card shot. So we'll see.
He looks like he might be feeling the fatigue a little bit from playing Pump earlier.
Oh, absolutely. He was pretty drained. He was. You know, whenever I was over there on commentary there, you could definitely see it in his face. I'm hoping that he got some hydration in him. He got some rest, got some stretching out, so he could really, really focus in on this. Because I know, like just from watching him, he is a consistent competitor in all of these high-level DDR doubles tournaments. It is something that he has a true passion for. He's one of the pillars of the community around this and elevating everyone's game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. Now look here. Look here. What do you pick?
This is what I expected from him.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't expect him to go to Hades. You expected him to go to Flower.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he wants to try to do this after doing all that jumping in Hades. Especially not after competing in Pump earlier.
No, absolutely. And that's the crazy part about this is that he knows what's going to play to his strengths. He knows what's going to wear him out and decides, you know what, I'd rather take the 16-note runs of Flower and the breaks that Flower gives me so I can be more prepared for Hades as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah. And the nice thing about it is technically faster, as you highlighted earlier, but it doesn't really give you very many sustained runs, right? It's mostly broken up little bursts and gallops.
Right, there's far less jumps, right? You know, you're able to balance, you're able to hit those rails a little bit better, right? But there's far more breaks,
yes.
too. You know, Hades has those mental slowdowns, but also, you know, you have to adjust so differently on a chart like Hades. With the Flower, it's difficult, but it's a little bit more straightforward, and I think that that's where his strategy was really coming into play here. Mentally, he's thinking, what can I do? And you're seeing it on full display with the PFC leading into the 200 combo. What a technical showcase we're seeing right now from the Hoots man. Absolutely incredible. Only picks up one great as we approach the 300 mark. He is just doing his best to keep up with his own personal best, but also the level of competition that Kevin already showed us here. Nails the jumps. Zero issues leading into this. Look at this marvelous attack.
That's really strong. Let's hold it through the
Wow.
Let's hold it through the second half.
Here we go. Here we go. Strong one. We got about 180 steps left. Let's see how he does it. So running very, very strong with that PA and MA. This is definitely going to give Kevin a run for his money. Where are we going to land at on that final perfect count? What a clean run.
16
by T.Swag here.
That does beat Kevbo.
It does beat Kevin, so he did get a lower burger. What an amazing run. 1663.
And you know the comparative strengths of these players, I would have expected this because that is T.Swag knows these cards very well, and not to say that Kevin doesn't, of course.
Right? Yeah, of course.
Like the more technical side of things, that it's less just like raw stamina execution, is definitely where T.Swag finds his strength in this game.
His footing, so to speak.
Yeah.
No pun intended, right?
I mean, and pun intended as well.
100%.
Because, like, if you watch his footwork, he does things that nobody in their right minds would do if they're playing for a score.
100%. Absolutely.
Like, there's a wonderful clip from playing back in the Boba Cup. His glasses fell off because he did a spin in Paranoia Revolution Expert.
Wow, okay.
And he had to pick up his glasses while he was hitting the long up jack in the slowdown.
Oh my God. That is wild.
And he still almost won that song. He lost by like 5 EX.
That is absolutely wild.
That's T.Swag. That's what he does.
But he's also a competitor to the point where he's not going to let something like that affect him. He's going to go in and still give his best no matter what, whether you see or not, right? So let's see how he does on Hades. Again, I got to give the slight advantage to Kevin here, but you got to look at this.
Kevin had such an insane run.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, Swag picked up a mix, and he's trying to compete with a 26 PFC from earlier that Kevin did, right? So he's going to have to really crack that.
But he won the last song, right? So he doesn't necessarily have to win. He just has to put up a score that gets second, and then he ends up tying with Kaze to get out as the wild card.
Right.
Because as long as no one beats both of them.
So you're Team Chaos. You're hoping that that actually happens, but we got another miss here. Oh no, he's broken combo twice now. Is that going to come back to effect, or will his MA actually shine through? You're seeing a -4 on his PB so far, so he's still doing solid as we go into the slowdown.
Yeah. Again, I don't think this is beating Kevbo just because there was so little room for error in that run. But this is still a strong run that has a potential for second in this pool.
Absolutely. And look, the mini speed up here did not absolutely trip him up at all. He's still continuing to keep that gold combo after his second combo break. Look, he's coming up on -3, -2 in that range right now on his actual PB. Let's see how he does on the speed up. Picks up a third combo break there. That
three misses, but like without those misses, he was only 5 behind his EXPV. That was a very solid run.
Right, so 44
perfect.
with 3 misses.
And 3
He
misses.
almost had the pip too.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't Kevin's absolutely cracked 26.
Right, so
But still puts this
53
on
missing EX.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the total, is 53 missing. So we'll see if anyone else can beat that.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody can, it's this pool.
Yes.
It's this pool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like nothing is settled yet.
No, absolutely not.
Every player in this pool is insane.
You've got John Tran and Jag coming back up right back to back. Wow.
That's it. See you next.
Here's John. So, I mean, NorCal WO represent, right?
NCWO, I believe that's
WO, right?
correct.
Yeah. So NorCal represent. Absolutely great member of the community. Can't say enough positive things about John Grant. He always has a smile on his face. He always wants to help out. He gives it all at every single thing. And you never see frustration on his face. You never see any of that. You only see somebody who just wants to come play, be their best, and be kind to everyone. And
You see fatigue on his face sometimes, but you won't see it stop him from anything.
But you never see frustration.
Yeah, no,
right?
never.
You see like, okay, I just have to do better next time. And that is the type of mentality he brings to every one of these events. It's so good to see that level of commitment, but also just somebody who wants to exude positivity within the community.
Yeah.
So.
It's that mastery mentality, right?
100%. 100%. So here we go. John is absolutely going to crush it. We are excited to see where this lands.
And this also highlights the kind of player that John Tran is. Because the only play he has on New Generation is the Challenge 17.
Right. So he's familiar with the song, at least, right?
Yes. And he's probably played the singles 14, and he's definitely played both the single and the doubles challenge cards.
Absolutely.
I expect he was watching the previous competitors to kind of get an idea of what's in store.
Yeah. Talibran's out there saying, when I grow up, I want to be just like JP. Don't we all? Don't we all?
No, absolutely.
So here we go. Adjusting the timing. Doing the very similar -1 that we saw earlier.
Right. It's been a range from -0.4 for Moosey up to 1.7, I believe. So just like knowing what the comfort number is for them.
Yeah, finding that too, and especially with the A3 changes, shout out to Konami for putting that in, right?
Yeah,
it's a great feature. It's such a great feature, especially. And here we go. John is reading at a faster speed than the rest of our competition, right? You're seeing it right now, but I think that's partially due to his pump diagram as well. He does want to read at the higher speed, and just is like, I don't want to see the density. I want to see chart arrows where I got to go, and I'm just going to be faster. I'm just going to push it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still keeping the pip through 150, 170 now. Okay, awesome. Into the 200, keeping the gold combo, making it look easy. If he was tired, you definitely wouldn't see it right now because he is absolutely crushing it right now. Wearing the mask too.
What level was he playing on pump? What, like doubles 23 or something?
Yeah, D25s.
A D20. I mean, compared to that, this is nothing.
Right. So now that being said, he is picking up a few grades. So his accuracy is suffering slightly. Right. Not as crisp as what we saw from Kevbo and T.Swag, but will it be enough to push him up there? Right.
Right. And that's that's the big thing, right? Because like obviously he has much stronger stamina than a player like T.Swag, but he doesn't quite have the same level of refined timing.
Yeah, the tech is what's kind of messing him here. But again,
very strong.
Still a very strong showing. Gets the full combo. How many did we see? So 93.7. That's a really high perfect count. I don't know if he's going to be able to make that up because Hades doesn't have that many arrows. Flower does have close to 600, but it's going to be tough to kind of climb back from that. Let's see how well he does.
That's definitely third place for that song.
Yeah.
But we'll see if he can play spoiler to T.Swag's opportunity to move up.
Right, absolutely.
Is really the question.
Right. So here we go into Flower. Again, this is the higher arrow count song, so higher potential EX. Let's see where he lands on this. And again, this really plays to his strengths, right? This is a song that plays more to his strengths than something like Hades. This is a fast-paced song.
I think Hades does.
You really?
Yeah, because it really is just like it's very straightforward rhythms and stamina.
Right.
Like you don't really have to do too much thinking about it.
Right.
And it doesn't have the weird rhythm problem that Flower does. And so we'll see if the rhythms do mess with him here.
Yeah.
But I do think he will have a strong showing on Hades.
We'll see what happens. I was thinking of it from the side point of like somebody who masters, double M runs inside of pump and doesn't get phased by any of those transition areas.
Oh yeah, no, it's not the footwork that'll get him. It's literally just the rhythm itself.
Yep.
And processing the rhythm in time since Flower is such a strange rhythmic song.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately picks up a great before the first 100 here. So let's see how he does with the back five. Pretty consistent overall. I do wonder if fatigue is starting to play factor with him, though. It's definitely not as crisp as I've seen him play in the past, right? But still absolutely killing it. And there we go. A little bit quick on those transitions.
Yeah, a little bit. And I will highlight, he was playing some, he did play some DDR singles pool as well as pump.
Right.
And he was playing some 17s in there.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of dance gaming today.
So we're going to see right here, right now. Definitely bringing the hype here to Mistake on like 5. You hear it in the background with the crowd.
Look at all this marvelous stuff.
Right.
He locked in.
He did get locked in a little bit. Not quite as crisp as what we saw with T.Swag beforehand, but still, what a strong showing so far. Keeping combo, ensuring that his steps are going where he needs them to. He just needs to dial back that timing slightly and dial it in just a little bit harder. Look at how crisp those steps are. Picks up another grade there, but seriously, very clean with the PA and MA. Picks up another grade during those steps, in between the jumps. All right, 549, full combo 575, or 1575. That's gonna push him out, unfortunately. You know, the perfect count was just way too high. Again, he had this similar problem to what we saw earlier.
Yeah, just high perfect counts and a lot of slows.
A lot of slows.
So I think it's that gold cab adjustment is not
It's a
quite.
different screen.
Yeah. It feels different.
Yep. It's bigger, right? It's got, like you said, you know, people are very used to dialing in on the white cab. They've been playing for it for so long, and then the gold cab came out.
And also the oral sync is earlier on the gold cab as well.
Yeah.
And like if you played on a white cab earlier, you have to hit later relative to what you're hearing. And then in pump as well, it has an asymmetrical window that's larger on the late side. Right. So like if you're used to hitting slightly late or like even potentially on time, like the gold cab is going to be earlier than what you're used to unless you've played on it a fair amount.
Here we go with Hades. You said this was going to be a strong one, right?
I do think so. I think he'll do well on this.
Oh, I absolutely think he will do well as well. I think that flower run was definitely kind of an outlier for him, right? Compared to what we've seen him do in the past. But here we are. He's picked up a grade into 120. Where do you think he's going to get tripped up a little bit on this specific chart, even though it's his strength?
I don't think there's anything really. Maybe the slowdown a little bit.
But he tries to overcompensate during the slowdown. Absolutely, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. So we'll see it here in just a bit. He's definitely doing great so far in the lead up to the slowdown.
Yeah, just the one grade, right?
Yep. No, two so far.
Okay.
So here we go.
I expect these
hitting
gallops
pretty good.
here would be what I maybe, if anything.
Getting
Seems
a
like
little
no
bit
trouble
slightly
at
out of
all,
the window, but no, he's really nailing it even easier than he was the earlier steps. And look at those clean transitions. If I was taking a stock video of somebody playing DDR, I would want to see his footwork right now, though. Like, just look at how clean he's making that. He's making it look so easy.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are, coming into the finale. Absolutely strong showing by John with a 12-82. What an incredible run by John. See, 87-4.
Fewer perfects than on Flower and on New Generation.
So you were right.
That was his best song.
That was his best song. So it's almost like he had to warm up a little bit there too, you know? So, but what an incredible showing by an incredible member of the community. Shout out to John. Unfortunately, will not be moving on, but still did a great showing here. Made top 12. Can't wait to see him in future tournaments, regardless of what the game he plays.
Oh yeah, he's just a joy to watch play.
Speaking of another multifaceted computer gamer,
oh my gosh,
here we
this
go.
whole pool is just like insane doubles players.
What in the world is this? What in the world is this?
Well, I mean, the doubles pools to a degree were randomized, and then based on how they advanced, it was like a snake order, and that's just how it worked out.
It is awesome to see, but also it's like how elevated is the competition in the semifinals? You know, like this is effectively the semifinals, top 12.
Yeah.
Only 4 people's going on. For those of you who just joined us, right? Shout out to Jag in the chat from WereCat. But let's talk about for those of the who don't know the format, let's catch them up, right? Jag opting to not use the negative, by the way, in his timing. He's going stock, so we'll see. But do you want to, we have a quick rundown of the actual the layout.
So we drew 7 charts from the 13 to 16 range, and every player voted for 2 that they wanted to play. The 3 charts that got the most votes are the 3 charts that the pool would play. We had initially, I believe it was 8 pools of 4 people, and we narrowed that down to 3 pools of 4 advancing, so 12 total players. And so we will have a top 4 made up of the winners of each pool, and then the strongest second place finisher out of the 3 pools. Currently, that's looking to be either T.Swag or Kaze.
Depending how it all shakes out. Is that dependent on how it all shakes out from their performances earlier?
It depends on, it depends on their performances earlier. It also depends on if Jag gets any scores that beats either T.Swag or Kevbo.
All right, well, we'll see. I think Lana's over here actually doing those calculations right now. We're getting some preemptive strikes on it. So, but Jag is out here absolutely killing it. Having a few greats, but definitely handling the transitions without too much difficulty.
Yeah, Jag is definitely a seasoned doubles player.
Oh yeah. And clean. You know, I was a bit concerned by not using the offset parameters for the gold cap, but here we are, locked in really, really well.
Some players like the earlier. I'm among them.
Definitely. And you're actually seeing it too. You're seeing some fast come through. What a clean run there by Jag. Only a few greats. I think it was an SDG. Yeah,
75 and 5.
Yep. So 75 and 5, 1361. Not as strong of a showing.
That puts him in third on that song, I believe.
Right. But still, a very good showing. Gets his legs warmed up, opened up for the 15s. Let's see where he goes. He's going to go flower? He's going to go flower first. So here we go.
I think Kevbo's just crazy for wanting to go for PARANOiA Hades second.
Well as he did on Hades, though. I mean, he went and got 26 on it, right? So clearly it was the right decision for him. But
yeah, no, it definitely was.
Everybody else has chosen flower. So
I think that's an anomaly.
Yeah. Now, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but Jag does not have the PFC on it. It's a very low grade count. I think it was 996. I may have been wrong reading that.
That might have been. I think that's correct. The only question in that really is whether he got a PFC on A20 plus after he transferred initially to A3. Right. So it's impossible to know for certain. But that seems like the correct read.
So we've already got a grade in the early steps here, but definitely locking it back in. So he is going to catch up with Kevbo. Now's the time to do it because that Hades run is going to be so difficult to beat comparatively. Yeah. Flowers where we can at least make some ground up. What is the EX score to beat for him on Flower, by the way? Like, let's just give that out to the actual audience here.
1656.
1656, so that's a magic number. And, picks up the good, unfortunately, was well on his way, but unfortunately they're not letting it phase him, though. Still locked in. Great MA through that period right there. And still keeping it solid. I think he's really hitting the tempo really, really well, but it'll be still difficult to beat. Hitting those jumps with precision. As we head into the break, I'm really worried that good is going to come back and bite him. Like, that's my concern now. His perfect count is a little bit high, but let's see where he goes from here, right? The math may shake out still. What a crispy step. Like, right there. Absolutely hitting them with authority. Coming into the end now. Very strong showing with the 16-18. Just slightly under where Kevin said it, right? So, only about a 28 EX difference. I think Kevin had 44 and 1 on his run, so 68-9. Little bit of a discrepancy there, right? Plus we had the good in there, but still a very strong showing by Jag. Who knows what's going to come out of this, right?
So this is the real question mark.
Yep.
If he beats T.Swag on this,
and then he's going with the 175, right? He's going with a little bit higher than what the modifiers were for the others. They went 1.5, so let's see what happens.
Yeah. But if he beats T.Swag on this, then Kaze advances to top 4. Otherwise, I don't actually know. It would be based on tiebreaker
Absolutely. I don't. He's picked up a couple of greats already, so he's 2 greats. Seemed to have a little bit of frustration at the very beginning, but he's cleaned it up now. Into the skips.
Good advance on Calvin.
Yep. Unfortunately picks up a miss, and I think that that's going to kind of seal the fate for Jag, unfortunately, but still keeping it going.
I don't know if it's over yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It really just
Maybe
depends on
not.
how much he stays
Maybe
on.
not. Those marks were like creeping up. Let's see how he does in the slowdown.
Remember that each note is worth a max of 3 points. So
Right.
a miss is the same as getting 3 perfects.
And with the actual total arrow count lower in this one than we've seen in the other ones, it'll be a little bit more difficult, but Jag's still fighting through it. Absolutely smooth tech right there in the transitions, keeping the combo going into the final 300 speedo. What a great showing by Jag with a 1281 run. So Jag, I think that will unfortunately be the end for Jag today, but still amazing, strong showing. 81 perfects and 6 greats.
A AAA on command.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're coming into this environment. You're coming in with this level of competition, with this level of just mental stress alone. And now you're having to put your body through it again as well. So wild. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to watch out for those June 15s.
I mean,
right?
on doubles, half of them are 16s.
Yeah, absolutely.